Hello everyone, AmazingGamer111 here, welcoming you to the audio commentary of Episode 1 of FNAF World, the animated series. So the whole idea of FNAF World, the animated series, sort of evolved from the majority of hatred that FNAF World got when it first came out, because the hype leading up to release date, it was immense. Like, a Five Nights at Freddy's RPG, I was down packed for that, but unfortunately just everyone hated it at first, and I was not one of those people. I wanted to give Scott a break because he really wanted to take a break from horror, and no one was having any of it. And I really felt like the animations that came out for FNAF World they were pretty bad, to say the least. There were a few gems like Dome 23's Flipside animation, but all in all it was awful. And I thought, if I could at least make one episode, or a series of FNAF World animations that were actually good, maybe the game would get a little more appreciation, and I could maybe have some fun with it, you know, use it as a passion project. And, you know, as the whole teaser for the series, it was a little segment where the animatronics get sucked into a portal, and I thought maybe as a way to reintroduce the opening, just remake that. And another thing I want to mention is voice acting. Anim Dude, Pack, Phoenix, Malix, Cody, everyone who was in this first episode did an absolutely incredible job. All of you, seriously, this series is not going to be as good as it is going to be without the voice acting from you guys, and of course other people who will be featured in future episodes. And here's another thing I'd like to improve on, or that I did improve on, was the way the animatronics entered the world. They were just shot out of a portal and screamed, and it was pure ear rape. So I thought doing it in a more, like, they fly into the air right in front of the camera and then fall down. Leon the Leprechaun reference there. And I thought taking away the robotic effect when they're in their adventure animatronic form would be a nice touch as well, and I'm glad I went with it. And already you can notice quite the distinct difference here of how the world looks and how the characters look and how they interact. I wanted to make this because the original map for Fazbear Hills was just Forest Dim. It was a model you could just, a map you could just get anywhere in SFM, and I wanted to make the series as close to the source material as I could. And I feel like I accomplished the look of FNAF World pretty well, and as I have for future installments, as I planned as well. Changing the models of the main crew of Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy was a top priority. They had to look good, and at first I thought Chica didn't look too good, but then after I saw the finished product, I was actually quite happy with how she was animated. Fredbear's model it's basically like, it's the same hat and bow tie from the old Episode 1 Fredbear, but covering up the hat and bow tie of the normal Freddy scene in this episode, except he's got golden texture, which is skin 1 of him, and I found an eye texture pack on the workshop and just base textured it onto this golden Freddy's eyes, and boom, we got Fredbear. Also, there is a question that's being asked, Dan the Man especially asked the question, where's Golden Freddy? Did he turn into Fredbear? Is he in some other realm? For now, I'm going to leave that question completely unanswered, because that is kind of essential to the plot near the end of the season, so you'll have to wait on that. Also, I should have mentioned this earlier when it actually happened. Title cards for new episodes and stuff like that. We'll get a little scene to open up the episode, then we'll see the title card, and then the episode will take full swing from there. You know, fun fact, Malix was actually the only person to reprise his role from the original version of the series. And I did want to make his intro somewhat more creepy here, he constructs himself, and boom, 8-bit Fredbear. And I feel like this model is a lot more, expression-like and stuff. This will be a story-based series entirely. There will be proper continuity and developing stories, and If we've all seen FNAF World, we know how the clock side story goes, and that will be a reoccurring theme. Also, I think it's important that this first episode is viewed as a pilot and not more of an official episode. Like, it's a remake of the first episode, sure, but should be viewed as a pilot as well as a newer version of the first episode. I think that's very important because, you know, I will be changing the models. Golden Foxy is porting new models for episode 2 and onwards. I really wanted to see how well a reboot of the first episode would receive with viewers, and so far it seems to be going pretty well, so I will definitely continue this project. I did like this little montage as well. A lot of the shots from episode 1 were used in the trailer of the entire series, and I plan to, like, when I've done about 3 or 4 episodes, I will do another trailer. Pardon me. This is just a little scene of DD and Mendo and Lolbit talking to the characters, and just of being able to afford bites and chips and whatnot. I do like that I gave DD a satchel. Lolbit, DD, and Mendo were not actually written for this episode, really, so... Keemstar. I did want to, like, put in some sort of comedic tones in the series as well, with this new version of the episode. Because, as you can clearly tell, the original version fell flat. The musical selection for the old one was a bit bad. The voice acting was not good in the first episode because it was all text-to-speech. Yeah, these guys are bent on getting back home and finding the pizzeria. You could tell they do have concerns about where they are and wanting to go home, and not really anything in this world making much sense at all. Their new bodies being small, and it's a very confusing time for them. I mean, wouldn't you be confused if that happened to you? You were just sucked into an alternate realm with no explanation. Also, I think it's important to mention, in the original version, the first episode just then, when we see Fredbear again with the glitching tree, there was a line deleted there from the original episode where he says, "I wonder," with some sort of grin on his face, and I guess I'm just going to leave that up to the imagination for now for you guys. I used the chop and rolls there, not really as a filler shot, but more of like a foreshadowing for episode 2 as they do make an appearance, which they will be voiced by Dan the Man, which is great. Who's done a great job so far with the chop and rolls voices.
You can use these objects to get to places you couldn't reach before. You four will have to find the source of these fractures. Good luck. I'll be with you in...
The main reason I never, like, made episode 2 as soon as I did is because I was really lacking in motivation after making episode 1. Like, I got 1 minute of episode 2 finished on my old computer, and then 2 computers in a row when I wanted to make more just kept dying and dying and dying, and as I did, tried to make more FNAF World models like the old puppet and Snow Cone and Brow Boy. I'll pull them all up on the screen. All these models were just completely removed from the workshop with no explanation, and the only reason I can come up with is because FNAF World is bad, so let's just get rid of the models completely and waste all our hard work. I did not understand that one bit. Why would you get rid of models even though a game is hated? Just didn't make sense to me, and if there's any way we can get those models back, please, we gotta get them back, guys.
Ready? You plan on keeping your friends waiting?
Now there's a scene here, with Fredbear, like, once Freddy is outside in the tree, he does a blank stare back at the, he does a blank stare back at the tree. Again, calling back to the old episode of, like, I Wonder and stuff like that. And I feel like things in this were handled a lot better, just in terms of more explaining the story and progressing everything, making the script, you know, more fresh and, like, I mean, 10 minutes. 10 minutes and 30 seconds, that's pretty good for a full-on episode of something, so I'm going to try and keep that 10-minute, 30-second stamp for future episodes. Again, congratulations to everyone and well done with your voice acting. You're all incredible. And I'm glad I can rely on you guys to carry the voices of these characters for the series, so yeah, that's all I really got to say for episode 1. If you guys want to see me do more of these for episode 2, then let me know in the description. I'm the Amazing Gamer 111, and thanks for listening to my audio commentary of FNAF World: The Animated Series, episode 1.